I hope that works.
Bam, we're live. Holy cow. I might have some options too.
Boy.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Of course you wouldn't say.
Yo, everyone. Hi. I'm back.
Look at you back at home.
I'm back at home. I can't find any of my
notes.
I can't find those either. I can't
boy.
find any of my shirts. I can't find any of my CEO shirts. I can't find any of my Sevan podcast shirts. I'm tripping.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say TDC and HWPO paired up, and they are now official sponsors live.
No, I was like, why would I wear that shirt? But then I just like, you know what? Fuck it. I like, what do I care?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm late. I'm discombobulated. I was in a car for 9-10 hours today. Oh, it says the live call-in show started. Disneyland, the most unhealthiest place on earth. Wow, did you choose that picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That is it. Travis, Brian, Casual Sender, Bruce, Mr. Steve, Joshua Beaton, Trina, Ken Walters, Elisa Larson, Mr. Reynolds. Always Bruce Wayne, Joey P, Alan Kestenbaum, Christy A. Christy, did you make the comment about me being vegan? I'm a vegan at heart. I am a vegan at heart. That is true. You figured that out. I don't know if I followed your logic, but I really, oh God, I'm fucking a mess. My OCD's kicking in. I was like seeing stuff in the camera that I was thinking now was the time to fix it.
Yeah, to start organizing your things, please. That's.
I was late because I forgot to print up the notes because I'm not used to printing up the notes because I was traveling. Next time I have to travel with a printer because I'm losing my shit. What do you guys want to hear about? You guys want to hear about Disneyland?
Disneyland.
I'm meeting my cousin who I haven't seen in 10 years in Santa Cruz tomorrow. Where should we get breakfast? Wow. If it was someone I hadn't met in 10 years and I wanted a little bit of space, I would go to the Point Market. It's owned by Hassan. I want to say it's like at the end of 32nd Street. It's called the Point Market. And I would go there and, I don't know, ask for like a bacon and egg burrito. Or there's a place called the Cliff House? No, what the fuck is that? Did we go there? Did we get burritos at a place on 41st Street? It's red. It's only open till like 3 o'clock. It's right next to Family Cycle. What is the name of that?
I'm sure that is, but I don't
know.
The
Chill Out. It's called the Chill Out. And you could from there you could go on like a long 2-mile walk. As long as your cousin's mobile. My whole brain was blown. I'm completely I consider myself the greatest traveler of anyone I've known. By far.
But nothing prepared you.
And when I would go to these places, I would immerse myself in them. Meet the people. Blah, 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 all the continents. And what I saw at Disneyland this weekend, not even this weekend, I saw it yesterday. Hey, can you find out how many people Disneyland in Los Angeles holds? Not the California Dream inside, but the
original park.
The original park. You know what's funny, Haley? It said the printer was out of ink, but we haven't been home in 11 days. Oh, it always said, I don't know. It always says, do you put a new $50 cartridge in, and it says low on ink? It's good stuff. It's good profit making. Yeah. So Jessica, thank you. So Jessica, I would go somewhere where I could walk around if your cousin's mobile, unless they're like one of those people at Disneyland. You cannot. Thank you. I've been at the beach a lot. First of all, I want to say this. My kids had a lot of fun at Disneyland. Cost us about $1,000. They went on 6 rides. All the rides were tired. By tired, I mean they're done. They're so outdated. There's nothing special about them. Capacity anywhere from 85,000 to 100,000. I would say, let's say,
Magic Kingdom though. Is that the one you're looking for?
Yeah, I think that's the one I went to.
Okay.
I think it was completely sold out because it was like the only day we could get, and we got it like a month in advance. And it cost $1,000 more or less with parking and get all the fancy passes and shit for 6 of us. And we went on 6 rides. We got there at 12 and stayed noon and stayed till, I don't know, 9 or 10 at night. We did It's a Small World, which should just be burnt to the ground. It's horrible. It's basically it's it's basically just stuffed animals that move. I will say this about Disneyland: everything that they have, even though it's
Classic.
tired, it is so clean there.
That's
Everything is clean there except the people.
Yeah, you know that they did a whole study on how far away somebody will walk to throw something away in a trash can, and then put all the trash cans that far away from each other. So at no point in the park is there more than like 15 feet for you to have to walk for a trash can.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, and
It
all the
says
trash goes under the ground, like under the park, and that's where all the cast members and the characters and employees all walk underneath as well too. Because Walt Disney never wanted to see like different characters in different lands, so he built the whole underground tunnel for it.
I had heard that before. I'm typing in Disneyland Anaheim capacity. Registered reports Disneyland's park capacity hovers around the 85,000 mark. Further explains that the average day see about 51,000 visitors. Because this person is saying that Magic Kingdom is Florida.
Oh, okay, okay.
Capacity and numbers. So I spoke to my sister who lives in Texas about this. You have to understand, I was in complete shock when I went in there. I cannot believe what I saw. I still can't believe what I witnessed. Everything makes so much more sense to me now. I don't know how my wife and my mother-in-law stayed so calm. I was beside myself. And we'll get into that in a minute. My kids had fun. The place is really tired. Nothing cool like I remember when I was there 40 years ago. But I could see why my kids thought it was cool. It's a Small World. It's just. I mean, Chuck E. Cheese has better. Someone used the term animatronics. I went on that the ride where you're on the boat and it drops and you get all splashed. That was I liked it, but not to wait an hour. You have to understand, the day I do have PTSD from Disney. I have some really, really, unfortunately, some really harsh. Oh, that's a great question. What was more shocking, the obesity at Disneyland or the Botox and fake titties at Arc Restaurant in Newport? Here's the thing about Disneyland. I saw 1,000 of those I've never seen so many obese people, and I've never seen such mass consumption. I've never seen, basically, if you're like one of those eco people, you have to shut Disneyland down immediately. If you're one of those eco people, you cannot believe the way it's basically the whole entire place. It's a cruise ship. It's crazier than a cruise ship. The whole place is one giant sugar factory. It's like where heroin addicts would go, like one of those parks in Sweden or Switzerland where people just go shoot up. It's just people eating all day. That's all it is. There's kids being pushed around in carts, 7, 8, 9-year-old kids by their parents who are 400 pounds each. And the kids have a Coke in one hand and a box of M&Ms in the hand, and that's the norm. I'm telling you, I was thinking this is what it must be like to be at the CrossFit Games for Rich Froning. Like, you just look around, you could beat everyone's ass. I'm fucking fitter than everyone here. Like, even Matt got soft. He's a little bitch now. So it must be what it's like, because I went in there and I'm like, holy shit, I can whoop everyone's ass here. I've never been, like, I go to the CrossFit Games, I'm like, there's probably a 10-year-old here I could whoop his ass. It is so bad. It is so bad. It was scary. So basically what I saw, it's total woke-topia. It's all the woke shit. There's carts. Everyone there has the blue hair. There's grown couples there together that you can tell each of them are 400 pounds, and the man has Mickey Mouse ears on, and he's never worked out a day in his life, and his shoulders are narrower than his hips, and his shirt is baggy up here, and it's a quadruple X, but it's tight around his gut, and they're just eating ice cream, walking around, and it's just
What do you think you showed people from like the 1920s that, you know what I mean? Like, hey, look what
you could not show that. You could not show. They would die. They would die. If you have not been, I would never. I will not go there again. Well, I would have I would have to go through like. I'm gonna have to forget, but I don't know if I can forget. Here's the thing
It'd
too.
take
The
a
day
while.
before I was at the beach in Newport. Hi, Miss Perez. The day before I was in Newport at the beach, and my kids were there, and they were having so much fun, right? And I was trying to compare: is this more fun than Disneyland? There's nothing about Disneyland that cares about everyone. It's just about hurting people. That's all it's about. It's about feeding people drugs. So I don't even know how those people afford that.
They allow you to like do it on like a Disney credit thing, and you just pay it down over the year and go when you're on that when you pay it down.
Hey, isn't there something in
Like you save
isn't
it
there
off to go.
you take a loan? Isn't there something where the left is saying that black people don't know how to use the internet? If you have melanated skin, you don't know how to use the internet, and you don't know how to register to vote, and therefore and they don't know how to go, they don't know where the DMV is, and they can't go get driver's license. And so if you require driver's license, it's racist. If you require internet, it's racist. If you require because melanated people aren't capable of such skills. Well, guess what? Disneyland must be the most racist place on earth. If my wife had to do all that. It's completely internet. It's complete. You have to have an app. You have to have a phone. You have to have a smartphone at Disneyland, or else you can't ride the rides. You got to put it into the machine. Actually, they give you a ticket, but they tell you you don't need this. This is just in case. I forget what they say.
In case you want to keep it.
Yeah, probably.
So you can hang it up on your wall at home. Yeah, so it doesn't.
It is the
Kinda
sickest place on earth.
weird,
My
actually.
sister said, "Have you been to a Walmart in Texas?" And I said, "No, ma'am, I have not."
It's the same, but with guns strapped to their back.
It's not. There's people. The majority of people who are in those carts are stuffed into those carts. They're not. Those carts aren't even big enough for them. And the kids, I didn't see any kids that weren't obese. Little kids. And here's the thing.
That's sad.
Here's the thing. They're not obese to a point where like, okay, this is just a fat kid, chunky kid. Their bodies have been. These kids are to a point where their bodies aren't coming back. Yeah, I saw 8-year-olds everywhere, and the damage done to their bodies, it's not coming back. They're going to carry the scars of that weight gain for the rest of their life. And someone fed them that. I didn't take my kids into one of those stores. I fed my kids. They have popcorn there, and then they have these popcorn vendors. Well, I found one vendor where like every 50th piece of popcorn is a piece of candy. Not a candy, but like caramelized popcorn. And I got them that and just as many bottles of water as they wanted. And then you could buy some really shitty mangoes, but it was cool that they had them. And I fed them that. Let me see. Oh, I don't know that stuff.
Well,
I like look at a 14-year-old is 80. Like I'm 160 pounds now, and I'm fat. I'm chubby.
but like
I'm a little pudgy.
Right. Those are like the age groups there. But just to like your point, I mean, I saw some of I've been to Disneyland. I know what you're talking about, and it's almost like double.
When were you there?
Years ago.
Dude, you
Years.
cannot.
Like more than like 15 years ago.
I honestly had this thought. I was driving home, and I was like, how? If COVID were real, and I guess I believe COVID's real. I mean, has anyone seen COVID? Can you pull up a picture of COVID for me? I guess COVID's real. How did any of those people survive COVID if COVID's real? I have to know. Hey, dude, I met a guy, by the way. I met this really fucking cool dude. By the way, you guys, I was in Newport because there's this lady that listens to this podcast. Man, she's so supportive. And she got this dope pad on the beach in Newport, and she let us run the podcast out of there for 2 weeks. I think we were there 11 days.
There's what it looks like.
Okay, yeah. And I read that that's not what it looks like. That's just, it's all theoretical.
No, this is accurate.
No, that's not it. I heard it's so small it doesn't have color, whatever that means. I guess that means it doesn't reflect light. This is your trip, right?
Oh, that is trippy.
Yeah, there was a big sign there, Rod, that said if you're not vaccinated, that you have to wear a mask. Huge sign. I took a picture of it. Of course. Hardly anyone in there was wearing a mask. The employees were wearing masks. I'd say half the employees were wearing masks, and 1%. The Asians were wearing. You know, it's funny. Someone's gonna be like, "Well, that's racist." But yet, if they pull you over, I'm not gonna get into that. Anyway, it's really sad. It was really. I was thinking to myself, I want to double down on weight loss stories for the show. I need to do. I need to do one a month. I need to know that I'm contributing to helping. It is so bad. This group of people can't possibly think straight, and they're all ages. And I don't know how they're alive. If you told me half those people were dead today because of cardiac arrest, I'd be like, oh yeah, I could have told you that. They're all going to die prematurely. They have to be clogging our hospital systems. They must have all been on medication. There's
consequences that come with that lifestyle.
There was a lady in a cart, and I go, Haley, watch out. And she turns to the lady. She goes, oh, I'm sorry. And then I told Haley, I was like, I wasn't telling, like, I mean, it was not, my wife's nice, and it was cool. She said, but I was like, you weren't in the wrong. But if this is a 400-pound person in a cart going 6 miles an hour, if that thing hits you, you're toast. You're toast.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't get hit by at least one stroller. That's usually the joke with Disneyland too.
I was tiny there.
But you could outbench them all.
No. I cannot outbench or out squat. Sevan the Sevan dwarfs. Okay. What's your shit stand for? Huge white pussy old man. Oh, yes. That is what that stands for. Thank you.
That was aggressive.
That was aggressive. I did take pictures. I wanted to show you this one picture. I want to show you a picture of this man and his two daughters. I actually was going to go in there and I was going to take like 1,000 pictures, and then I just reached a point where I just didn't think it was healthy for me. So I took pictures for like, I don't know, 5 minutes, and then I stopped. But this sums up Disneyland. And this is why I don't want to hear any of these people's opinion on the Ukraine, on what's right or wrong, on racism, on health, on COVID. I don't want to hear their opinions on anything. Because first of all, I don't believe in consensus. I believe in math. I believe in science. I believe in the predictive value of something, not because 30 doctors said so. I believe the math. You are tiny. You're 5'3". No, I'm not 5'3". I don't think if you saw me, you wouldn't think I was tiny. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just proportion right. You think I'm small, but I'm not it's not weird. Oh, why I'm defending how tall I am. Yes, I'm not doing 2 + 2 is 5.
I'm trying to get this.
You might think I'm a little short. Okay, well, I'm gonna pull it. Let me see if I can do it.
I'll
just tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it is. It's this enormously fat man with his 13-year-old daughter who has dyed blue hair, and his 9-year-old daughter with they're all obese, and one of them has dyed blue hair, and the other one's dressed as like Rapunzel or some shit or something from one of the Disney movies. And I'm just like, why? I would never. So many people had their nose pierced here. Like, what? I just don't understand the logic of doing all of this shit to yourself before you take care of yourself. It's like painting your car when it has a fucking huge, like your car gets totaled and the first thing you do is take it to get painted before you do the body work. Like, what are you doing? You have tattoos and nose ring. You've dyed your hair blue, but you've been so abusive to your body that you're stuck in a cart. I guess all of that I guess it's all just abuse to the body. I was standing outside this ride, and there's a Tigger there. Do you know Tigger? That's the tiger from Winnie the Pooh. and they have speakers playing everywhere, you know, where you can hear the guys talking. So it'll be like Tigger and he's like this, and a piece of him will be going like this. And then there'll be a speaker behind him that's like him talking, even though his mouth isn't moving. And he goes, "Hi, I'm Tigger. T-I-double-G. I don't think you can do that. I think that's cultural appropriation. I remember all the rap songs when I was a kid had double G. N-I-double-G. Like, you can't do that. You can't do T-I-double-G. It's cultural appropriation. That's a strike 2 for racism at Disney. I really enjoyed it, though, that he did that. T-I-double-G, Tigger. I was never a fan of Winnie the Pooh.
I think I finally got the photo.
You wouldn't get a new car and just throw shitloads of paint on it. You just don't do that. So don't worry, I don't care. I shouldn't show it anyway. I think it's just as provocative and yeah, Tigger trigger. Yeah. I had Tigger trigger. You're right. I had Tigger trigger. Well. It's just as provocative.
I was trying to get them all set up, but
play number 112 just for shits and giggles. Let's just fucking bomb them. Let's just get with it. How about CrossFit HQ switching? They made a post on their Instagram saying CrossFit Home Office is gone and it's back to CrossFit HQ. Did you see that?
I did.
I'd love CrossFit. They can do no wrong. By the way, tomorrow's show is going to be crazy. I'm going to invite Hiller on tomorrow. Did I tell you that?
Are you really?
Did I ask you that? Yeah. Just for like a quick 15 minutes.
All right, this is 112. Is this what we're looking for here?
Just want to give him he needs a little hand job or something. He's just crushing it. Okay, go. Give him a little handy. Okay, let's see. Watch this. This is nuts. This is how
they're usually pretty racist.
Those laws are racist?
For sure.
Do you think it suppresses the African-American vote?
Definitely, because they're less likely to have state IDs. These type of people don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs.
I think that's harder for Black people to go online.
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works.
A lot of people have smartphones, but you might not have data.
For most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not aware.
Now I'm here in East Harlem to ask Black people their thoughts on what you just heard. You have ID?
Yes. Why would they think we don't have ID? Why would they say that?
Everybody that I know have ID.
I heard a lot also that Black people can't figure out how to get to the DMV.
I know it's on 25th. It's on 125th Street.
I also heard a lot that Black people, especially poor Black people, have no access to the internet.
I had access to the internet for years. Who are these people talking to?
Do you have a problem that if you go to vote and they say, "Can we please see your ID?"
I love showing my ID.
You have an issue with that?
No.
Do you have an opinion on voter ID laws?
They're usually pretty racist.
Those laws are racist?
That's where I grew up. That's where I grew up. Those people. That used to be me right there. It's crazy. It's so crazy.
The craziest thing is that like they think they're doing good with that.
It is fucking embarrassing. It is embarrassing. I agree.
Yeah.
It's fucking embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. How about people are afraid of freedom of speech? The whole Elon thing. This is nuts. Hey, what's Tim Cook gonna do now? Is he gonna boot them off of what? Like if you invite Trump?
I think he'll sit real quiet.
I think he will too.
And Trump already made that announcement that he wasn't coming on Twitter. I mean, he started his own platform, didn't he?
Sorry, I've had the sniffles for a month. Every time I do that, I know my mom and dad hate me for it.
My mom said she watched some of the Wadapalooza footage until you picked your nose.
Oh.
She goes, "Oh my God, that is so gross." And then I tried to defend you. I was like, well, he was sitting on it for like 7 hours, so maybe he just forgot.
Hey, picking your nose is embarrassing, but not nearly as embarrassing as saying from the campus of University of California, Berkeley, that Black people don't know how to use the fucking internet because of the color of skin. How did you even think that the color of your skin relates to how you can use a computer, period, at all? Didn't you just hear me say that I fucking couldn't figure out the Disneyland app? I'm smart as fuck. Maybe age. Maybe an old Black person.
It's an old person in general.
And oh man, here we go. I listened to the James Townsend interview with Kenya Clark. It's not all black and white. And I was like, yeah. Get them, boys. Yeah. Let me hear this shit. And then at the end, They start talking about how skin color is a factor. And I got to tell you something. I love Kenya. Good dude. Love the dude. Text message with them. Homeboy. Dude, I would support him in any way I could. But the fact that every single person that I know is afraid of cops. It has nothing to do with the color of your skin. It has to do with what's between your ears. It has nothing to do with the color of your skin. Nothing. If you were truly afraid of cops based on what they do to black people, you would be afraid of black people based on what they do to black people. And maybe you are. But either way, at the end of the day, that's your responsibility. But if we were to take all the statistics of how cops treat black people and use those factors, guys in the suits with the billy clubs and the guns, and then people who biologically have melanated skin, and compared how they treated them, you would be more afraid of black people, I bet you, than cops. It would be a no-brainer. And just all my friends, I'm 50 years old, we're still terrified of cops. I don't want a cop behind me. Every time I rode my motorcycle, I'm like, God damn, are they going to get me? That's boys. That we're boys. That's a boy. We're trained like that. And you know why? Because we do bad shit. Because I did bad shit. Because I threw eggs at fucking Matt's mom's car when she drove to work.
Didn't want interactions with them.
And the parents, the Jew parents and the black parents need to stop telling their kids that the world's out to get you. Everyone needs to figure it out on their own. Man, I was so disappointed when you guys took it there. I was so disappointed. So disappointed. You guys sounded like victims.
Well, maybe we didn't have enough like context on how and what actually happened. Maybe there's more context on their end. And there's always more context to the whole story, right?
Hey, and don't be mad at me. I'm telling you how it is because everyone else is a pussy. I'm telling you how it is. Young men are terrified of cops, and they should be because they fuck around. You think Armenian parents? No, Armenian parents don't tell their kids that shit. Armenian parents just tell your kid, get the fuck out there and work. Make that money. Sell them carpets. Sell that jewelry. Your parents don't tell you shit because they're workaholics. Good morning, Seth. Good evening, Seth. Disneyland is so bad. It was such a disappointment. The interesting thing is I don't think my kids even noticed any of that stuff. I don't think they noticed that they did not look human to me, the people there. Their faces were just enormous. Like everyone's like, you like all the things like that we take for granted, like your glasses fit your head. You fit. There was a ride there called Jungle Cruise, and it had some steep wooden stairs, and it was packed in there. And I looked back up at the top of the stairs. I was like maybe 8 stairs from the bottom. There were like 30 stairs behind me, and I saw people like I was starting to like, okay, if one of those people slips and comes down, how am I going to save my mother-in-law? She weighs 110 pounds. I can't have her like, I don't want her to die in front of my kids right today at Disneyland. It was like that. I mean, it was like that. I talked to a friend of mine. I'd love to interview a medic at Disneyland. I talked to one of my friends who's a medic, and he says that people stroke out there every day.
I think there's also something like they can't disclose any of that stuff, right? Won't Disney come after him?
The medical shit, like if you
just anything in general, like certain facts and statistics about them, like, you know what I mean? In all the time that Disneyland's been around, there's had to have been somebody that's like died on a Disneyland ride, right? Like just statistically speaking, with the amount of people going through the park, but like you don't hear about it. But then if there's like a carnival or like, you know, one of those Six Flags things, you hear about what happened. And so I don't know. I think Disney pays a lot of money to keep their reputation intact at those parks.
They're making so much money.
I mean, yeah, look at what it said right there. You said you spent $1,000, and that was probably conservative. You didn't go to both parks. You didn't do multiple days, right?
Yeah, one of my friends said
pay for the toys on the inside. You didn't pay for other stuff like that. So it could have been a $5,000, $10,000 trip, easy.
One of my friends said, "How many?" I said, He called me, and I texted him back. I'm at Disneyland. He said, "For how many days?" I said, 8 hours. How many days?
Yeah, I mean, so if you spent $1,000, let's say, and you know you went with a family that same size roughly, it's like you had a place to stay too. You didn't have to stay in a hotel while you were down there. Like there was other things that you had. That
Oh, it would have been thousands of dollars. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
And I didn't go
You
in the
had them
store and buy
quick.
all the shit. The
Right.
consumption,
Did you get
the
some Mickey ears, though?
consumption. Pardon me?
It would have been funny if you sat down with some Mickey ears. For
Oh no! I may have participated in the Disneyland consumption, but the PR the last 2 months has been so bad. It's like I'm finally waking up to like how screwed up fucking Disney is. It's a bad, like they're bad people. They're bad people. They hurt kids. They hurt kids. They teach kids things that kids should not be being taught. It's my opinion. I heard we had reported a couple weeks ago that the Torian Pro was not being sold out to full capacity, that it was being sold to 50% capacity. Then someone hit me up in the DMs and and the reason why that they're only selling to 50% capacity is because 2 of their athletes aren't vaccinated up to status that Australia requires. And those 2 athletes are Cara Saunders and Royce Dunn, is what we heard.
I don't think it was the only 2 athletes in Australia. Just kidding. I know Tia's from there. Just kidding.
And for some reason, for some reason, because 2 athletes aren't fully vaccinated, somehow I could, for the life of me, I couldn't explain to you why. We would need someone from China to explain it, that kind of thinking. Yeah, that's me making fun of Canada. It's okay. I'm from Berkeley. I can do that. It's okay. From Berkeley. It's okay. It's okay, China. Chill. Relax. Self-acknowledgement is the first step in the healing process. So then someone said to me, hey, the Torian Pro you're wrong. The Torian Pro is sold out. And I go, I didn't say it wasn't sold out. I agreed with you. It's sold out. What I'm saying is it's only sold out to 50% capacity. Well, I heard it again today from a different source. And I made sure that source didn't get it from my source. And yes, so now we have 2 reports that the Torian Pro is not selling out. For some reason, that will help people not get COVID if COVID's real. I'm open to it being real. I'm totally open to it being real. What?
No, I'm just laughing. I always have this like head count of like how many things are gonna get us dinged on the YouTube algorithm and how many people this won't get in front of.
Yeah. So those kids, the way they're eating is for sure affecting their ability to procreate. For sure. Those people there, what they're eating is definitely affecting the way they think. It
has to. It's just
it looked like the fall of an empire. The cost on society that these people take, I bet you if you really figured it out and people weren't afraid, it's beyond anything else. It's beyond the consumption is crazy. I was just thinking about the landfills when I was there, full of those carts that otherwise wouldn't be needed. The electricity that those carts use that's made from burning coal that goes into the atmosphere. I mean, whatever the woke, I mean, just take all that woke shit. If every person who flies in America, let's say the average American is 70 pounds overweight, how much extra fuel is that every year being burned on airplanes? No one gives. That's why I don't want to hear shit from those people.
Interesting.
I don't want to hear shit about COVID. I don't want to hear shit like those things where you care. First, let me see you care about yourself. Can you pull up that thank you, Ken, for telling me to take a deep breath. I was going to have an aneurysm. You're a good dude. Appreciate that. Could have said a little more subtly. Could have been like, just could have just written breathe. But either way, I appreciate it. I'm a humble man. Hey, can you pull up he said it in the comments. Where'd he say it?
I didn't see that comment.
Can you
I'm just loving how worked up you are about Disneyland. It's good.
I'm torn between like trying to figure out what the solution is. I mean, Obama was speaking at Stanford talking about misinformation, and that's why people died of COVID, because there was misinformation on social media, so people didn't get vaccinated, so that people then died of COVID. I'm like, there's Coca-Cola signs everywhere at Disneyland. Like, that's why people died. It's not misinformation. Well, the only misinformation is the stuff you censored out. We've known since day one that chubby little guys like me don't die because they don't eat added sugar. They don't eat refined carbohydrates to the best of their ability. And they exercise 7 days a week.
Too bad there wasn't some sort of company that could have preached that the last 2 years.
I know. Hey, I seriously am having hope for CrossFit. Like for the first time when I saw that thing on the Instagram. Can you pull that up? Who runs their Instagram now?
I don't know who's ran it from before.
Matt. I was gonna say Matt Souza.
I run their
a good friend of mine.
This whole thing, I've been in cahoots the whole time.
Matt Bishel used to run it. He used to be in charge of all this. How about that? Have you ever met Matt Bishel?
No.
Like over the years? You never saw him at HQ?
I mean, I saw a lot of people at HQ, but you remember I was like the stowaway that kind of didn't want to make too much noise at the DDC because then somebody would be like, why are you here?
He ran CrossFit social media. He built the fucking social media fucking empire there, right? He builds the fucking CrossFit and then it's erased. Can you imagine having your whole entire body of work erased? Did you hear me?
No, sorry, I was highlighting this.
I just can't believe he had his entire body of work erased. He built CrossFit. He built CrossFit Facebook, CrossFit Instagram, CrossFit.
Oh, then when Greg shut it down.
Yeah, and they shut it down, and all his work vanished. He should have been put on suicide watch.
You know what's funny is I never actually thought of like the individual behind that, because I'm on the outside view looking in.
Yeah.
I was just like, holy crap, the whole lights went out in the building, It's like the cool house you drive by and you could see cool stuff out in front. And then one day you go by and the whole thing's just completely dark and you're just wondering what's going on. But yeah,
imagine you fucked 100 girls. Imagine when you were 18, you started having sex with girls, and then by the time you were 50, you'd fucked 100 girls. And then on your 50th birthday, the day after your 50th birthday, all 100 died. You'd be devastated.
Oh my God.
Your whole entire body of work gone. That's what happened to this dude. Anyway, let me sorry. See that? Sorry, can you pull that up again? I was too busy lost in my story.
Hell of an out, dude. That's okay. I was lost in making sure I highlighted it correctly a minute ago. So
someone sent me this today, and CrossFit training seminar staff led lectures and breakout groups derived from the level 1 course today with CrossFit HQ. That is wow. Virtuosity was the theme with emphasis on the fundamentals of the CrossFit methodology as the guiding light, driving HQ forward. No.
Not home office.
Oh, thank you. It's like a crossword puzzle. I couldn't solve it. It's like one of those ones a 3-year-old can do. Hashtag not home office. It's CrossFit HQ.
Awesome.
Wow.
So that's your ray of hope in this.
I don't know. He's still. I assume he's still in Santa Cruz, and he's got. I can't ban Coca-Cola. I assume he's still in Santa Cruz unless he moved to Colorado, and he's got a couple kids now. There's like 5 people over there. I hope in 5 years, when this podcast is bigger than CrossFit, I will offer them jobs. Sevan for governor of California. I don't do any of that banning stuff. I don't ban or tax or do any of that stuff. Because I believe that when you tax, is that James Hobart?
Yeah. I was gonna say it looks like they're all teaching a bunch of L1s, right? So the staff led the lectures and the background groups. So that just means they just went through a whole company-wide acknowledgement of it, which is cool because this seems like something like Nicole Carroll would push for. Like, hey, as we need to move forward, we need to unite. Everybody working for this needs to know and understand and live the methodology, or at least attempt to.
Hobart has an amazing body, but in that picture, he looks like he's wearing a neck brace and he's got like his shirt hanging off a roll of fat or something.
Well,
I know he doesn't.
He's got his badge, back behind him, but that bicep vein is popping. He's looking good.
Yeah. He's probably on testosterone replacement therapy now that he's 36. I don't do any banning. I don't do any banning shit. I don't do taxing. What taxing does is it puts the governments in business with those items. So, we're taxed soft drinks, and now all of a sudden the government's in business. It's basically you stealing from the company. You're basically now part owner, and the company has to succeed because you're part owner. And yeah, I don't believe in any of that cigarette tax. I don't believe in any of that stuff. There's other ways to do it. In the 50s, and I wasn't around then, but I've heard the story. There was a huge, massive anti-litter campaign. Let's not use the word anti. Stop littering campaign. And it worked. It worked. Not in all cultures. Not in all cultures. Some cultures still litter. Some cultures still litter. It's not cool. Littering's lame. I think littering's lame. I think littering is 10 times worse than 100 times worse than not putting your cart away at the supermarket.
Yeah, I had a teacher one time say, "Have you ever noticed that the littering's always on theme?" Meaning, like, you're never gonna go out to there and be like, "Oh, did someone leave behind a sparkling water, glass sparkling water and an RX bar wrapper?"
Wow, you're right. You're
It's
right.
like, no, it's always like soda cans, mostly beer
Yes.
bottles, cigarettes, that type of stuff.
Yes. People who consuming things that harm themselves and therefore they don't care. And that's what I mean. The damage that these people who were at Disneyland do to the planet is like, if you care about that shit, and I don't know if I do, but if you do care about that shit, that those people, the damage I saw them doing versus what I do, just what I witnessed. I mean, I know it's only a small sample of 7 hours of the day, but holy shit, they're consumers.
I always wonder, like, what do you like? How do you reach and like help a lot of those people? Like, what do you think it is? Do you think it's a lack of education around what they're eating? I mean, I find that hard to believe because there is a lot of stuff around it. Do you think it's because that it's just not really pushed in the message? Like, obviously you don't agree with regulation, so then I don't think like government regulation of those ingredients, like, is that the call for it? What's legal, what's not? Like, how they do the labeling? Like, I wonder what the answer to that is. Like, if you were gonna just make a one sweeping, like, this would help the majority of them. What do you think?
You mean of obese people?
Yeah.
It's just pure education, I think. Just like the litter campaign. You have to just, why not pick like you and 100 people who look like you? You can pick every shade. Oh, yeah, we take the whitest person all the way to the blackest person who's not obese. And it's from like, like from all the shades, it's like a perfect from white to dark black, right? Albino to black, like your shirt.
Okay.
And we asked them just to make people happy. And we asked them what they eat. And we fucking, or what's their lifestyle like? That's what we all want to know. I want to know exactly what Rich Froning does every day to get that body. And we just have that on TV and on the internet everywhere. Every 3 videos, like for just a year, every 5 videos I'm oversimplifying it, but every 5 videos you watch on Instagram, you got to watch one of these.
Do you think that would do it? Like in the terms of fitness as aesthetics?
And the other way you could talk about, hey, if you eat this stuff, you die. You just start doing the math too for people.
Yeah, well, I feel like education on what it actually.
How about you just be honest, Souza? We just went through COVID where they told us that they weren't being honest of who's dying from it. Not a single healthy person died. Show me one.
There was no preventative measures given either than wear your mask and stay inside either, which was a huge missed opportunity. So I don't know. I always just wonder.
And no science, no predictive qualities there. Only consensus.
Yeah.
No predictive qualities. There was nothing predictive.
Was it? So that just essentially makes it a popularity contest, right? And then especially if we're doing this appeal to authority argument, which is happening everywhere. Oh, well, you can't discuss that, Sevan, because you don't have a PhD in whatever you're discussing now. So that doesn't give you the right. So then what does that mean? Like the consensus comes from a top down where if I'm an appeal to authority argument, I just look to the person who's at the highest helm of it. And we just agree with that, what he or she says there, and don't disagree with it.
We could hear 100 different views. I like the view that basically like that Greg used to say, like, hey, just move.
Mm-hmm.
And like he made fun of someone or he poo-pooed someone's fitness regimen one time, and then afterwards he felt horrible for it and went up and apologized and said, "Hey, any moving." It's just like diet. Like start tweaking. If you need a cart to get around and you're not tweaking your shit and working to fix that, then anything that you're doing to mitigate that, to set yourself free from that cart is in the right direction.
I mean, it's almost the same as like a drug problem, right? Like when you're
That is what it is. It is a drug problem. No one wants to be like that. Even though they're saying that some people do, no one wants to be like that. No one is.
Probably a certain amount of pain involved in your back,
Yeah,
and your knees, and in your feet and hips.
If a genie comes up and asks you, hey, I won't tell anyone if you have one wish, what would it be? And you're 400 pounds and you should be 112 pounds. That's what you do. You get your body back. You get your body back. It's the same thing with if you ask Jeff Bezos, hey, I'm going to make you dirt poor, but I'll make you 25 years old. He takes it.
Yeah.
He takes it.
Especially if he gets to keep the experience, but
he takes it. He doesn't care. Like once you get old, all you want is your youth back at any cost. Even if it means drinking the blood of little boys. I don't think people are happy. BBB, when you said you have a season pass. I don't think people were happy there. I will tell you this. I made it the whole entire day without fighting with my kids or my wife, which is pretty, not that I fight with them very much at all anyway, but it's pretty amazing. I mean, I had to have a really long talk with myself. Like, hey, no matter what, every plan is going to fail here. Just be chill. The only plan is to take breaths and be chill. And every plan did fail, and it was still a blast because we didn't fight. But man, did I see a lot of couples fighting.
It's interesting.
Ooh,
you
lots of tension everywhere. People being rude and what?
So you manage your expectation before you went in there. You manage your own expectation. It's a high stress environment too. Like
super high stress. Yeah. Super high stress.
So many bodies and people. It almost makes you feel like it's almost unnatural, to be around that many people and consumed into that much stuff. Isn't it? It's like an epicenter of like consumption, right? Like
it was so sad. It was so sad. The abuse people.
Like stimulus,
consumption meaning like lights and rides and
just
food
everything.
And
yeah.
It was so sad what I saw.
Did you go on the Peter Pan ride?
No.
No, that's my
even with ride. Like the super passes we had, like the lines were still long and all that shit.
Did you go on Pirates of the Caribbean?
I need to invite Hiller on the show for tomorrow with Brian. I wonder if I can text him right now, if he would text me back. Let's see.
We went on Pirates of the Caribbean like years.
What's that guy's name again? Just joking.
Who? Who are you?
Andrew Hiller. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm texting him.
That's okay. I was just reminiscing on Disneyland rides, basically to myself, anyways, while you were talking about
Pirates of the Caribbean was closed, which is a bum. Andrew, can you come on the show tomorrow for 15 minutes? He did a video. Oh, Kenya Clark. Of course, brother. I love you. You're a good dude. We've had some good chats. Well, what was the name of Kenya's podcast? It's Not All Black or White.
I think so.
And they spell black BLK.
It's not all black and white.
It's not all black and white. That what I heard, what I'm hearing is that Townsend, by the way, did an interview with Kenya Clark and with the It's Not All Black and White podcast, and he did one with Mr. Woketopia. Man, he would have a blast at Disneyland, the meme guy. And I heard that both of those podcasts were pulled down. Oh yeah. Oh, let me see that guy with the shirts off. Let me see that. Wait, let me see the dude. Let me see that. Yeah, man. Fittest Doc. And Mr. Smith. Kenya with them, yeah. Hey, Kenya looks like who's the guy we had on the podcast, the white dude who's fucking killing it with bodybuilding now, bodybuilding CrossFit. Oh my God, he was a games athlete.
Marcus
he lives
Philly?
in
no.
What? Oh yeah, Marcus Philly. Let me see that. Kenya Clark looks like a black Marcus Philly, or Marcus Philly looks like a white Kenya Clark. Look at that. Does he have a ponytail?
Shredded. No.
That's what you need to do, Kenya. You need to get on the show with Marcus Philly. Your shit will blow the fuck up. Whew. Anyway, so what I heard is they did these podcasts with James Townsend, and James talks about the issues that they had with, or not the issues. He tells the narrative from his perspective of what happened with Mal O'Brien's career. And he says nothing, at least from what I heard, he's very complimentary of Mal. And but he's disappointed with the adults in the room, and the adults being, I guess, her parents and
the agent,
their agent. I think her agent is Bijan. They don't even use their names. They talk about Matt Frazier, Bijan, and Mal's parents, and they don't even use their names. And at least in the podcast that I heard, they only use Mal's name, and they're very positive about her. They make sure no shit lands on her. None. Anyway, James is a gentleman, and I respect James fucking immensely for that and many reasons.
Yeah, I mean,
by the way, some of you people are like, some people have come out and said some stuff about James that he's too hard. Hey, man.
I mean, if you want to be
at
the level that they're competing at, and
yeah.
I mean, there's not too hard. You're competing to be the fittest on earth. It's gonna be hard, and you need to have you can't really have a coach that'll coddle you to that, because you won't make it very far.
Yeah, you don't think there's moments that if people would have seen the way Serena's dad treated her in Venus, that they wouldn't have called fucking Child Protective Services? Let me tell you something. Though what you get with James Townsend being your dad is, I mean, I don't know the guy. I don't know him, but I see how his kids are turning out, and it's not easy what they're doing. That dude's not a pushover. They're performing to make dad happy, and fucking I applaud him. I hope I'm doing everything exactly, how he is.
A lot of discipline and the values that he's instilling.
Yeah, he's not fucking around.
And
he's gonna have to let them go someday. He's doing it for them. He's not enjoying being that hard on his kids. No dad every dad wants to just I'm sure he wants to just go over and pick his daughters up and do everything for him. And he has to fight that urge every day. I'm
better
sure
for him in the long run. They'll be strong, independent, capable human beings.
He's all CRT'd out. What's that? Oh, critical race theory out. Yeah. I don't know if he's critical race theory out, but I definitely disagree with his. I think Sevan shadow banned me. No, I did not shadow ban you. I'll see you at the Trump rally, Craig.
Oh, gosh.
I don't agree with. I think the evidence is mounting that everything that was done in the name of fighting racism has deeply, deeply wounded this country, and especially Black communities across this country. I don't think there's any question. And I don't care about BLM like stealing money. That's not even it. It's way crazier than that. It's not, who cares about the corruption? I'm talking about just the misinformation and not really addressing what the real issue is and how the human brain works. And I've talked about this ad nauseum on this show. The people who are fighting racism are really the ones enforcing it. Which brings me to clip number. Oh yeah, go ahead. And then after this, let's play clip 113.
Okay. No, I was just gonna say the other thing with the James situation is like that breaking up of the relationship between him and Mal, in the sense of like there's multiple dynamics there. It's the coach, it's the emotional side of it. There's also a business element to it. You know what I mean? There's got to be some sort of business. So,
I bet you it's all emotional for James. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy he's got his own shit going on. His feelings.
No, but at the end of the day, that all that plays a role into it, because there's a lot of things that are happening at one time. So it's always a tough situation to go through. Like I've had business partners in the past, and then don't have business partners. And even if both parties are in relative agreement that, hey, this is the right decision for everything, there's still gonna be fumbles on the way. There's still gonna be issues that need to be worked out, need to be processed. And then imagine trying to do that with like a public spotlight on it, and then all this other stuff. It just adds to that so much more. So
he's not ever coming on this podcast. He's always welcome, but he's never coming. This podcast is like CrossFit. It's for everyone, but it's not for everyone. Wait, how's that?
Everyone could do it, but most won't.
Yeah.
mine was worse.
James
is awesome.
I think James Townsend is also shit. Hopefully, I'll have him on the air someday. I think he deals in the metric of respect, and a lot of human beings do, and I think that's a tough one to deal. I don't do that one. needing respect is, I don't do that one, but maybe that's why I'm not an alpha. I'm not a leader. So
Is it
maybe
needing it or showing, like having other people show it?
I don't need anyone to show me respect.
I know, but like I would be more upset, like not about if it happened to myself, but if somebody disrespected like Grace or somebody else, my mom in front of me or something like that, that would more so.
Well, it's funny you say that. A Coke fell off a fucking one of the lines at Disneyland and hit a lady's head below.
Like a
was
it a can or was it like a top?
It was on Jungle Cruise. It was a bottle of Coke.
Okay.
It sounded like it fell 30 feet and fucking hit her in the head, or 20 feet. And it sounded like a fucking gunshot. And she went down to the crouch position.
Oh.
And I thought to myself, oh man, if that would have hit one of my kids, and no one came and said sorry, no one took ownership. But I thought if that would have been one of my kids, I'd had to go up there and something horrible might have had to happen. Like there'd be like this 160 pound, 5'5" dude beating up like a 600 pound woman who dropped her fucking Coca-Cola on my fucking kid. It'd be crazy. I'd go viral.
Yeah. So, in dealings of respect like that, it's different. But I mean,
yeah.
Hopefully that wasn't intentional either.
Oh man. Can you imagine if I got killed by someone dropping a bottle of Coke on me? Oh, Miss Sarah Cox. Hi. I feel so much better now that I've done this podcast. I was jonesing.
I hope I'd spin a massive conspiracy off of that and
it was done on purpose.
Alex Jones myself into oblivion.
Can you play number 113 since we're playing the race card so hard? No, these guys can't be canceled. These guys can't be canceled. I really want to have these guys on the show. I'm fascinated by. I'd like to have them on the show. Hold on a second. Clydesdale Media is chiming in here. I always love giving the. James is an amazing dude. I've never met someone so genuine. We had him on our show and it didn't get pulled. Okay. Well, can you pull that up real quick? I want to see before we go to Island Boys. Let's see.
What do you want to see it on YouTube or Instagram?
Sarah, thank you. Probably greatest. That beach, everything was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Guys, listen, we have had so many people reach out who want to be a part of the program we're doing where we take your blood panel and then we make some suggestions. We have some doctors make some suggestions on what lifestyle changes you need to make in order to be muy fuerte and healthy and sleep better and all those things. We've had a few women, right? If you're a woman and you're interested in that, please reach out, send your picture and like a little paragraph description on why you want to do it, partake in it, to the Sevan podcast at gmail.com. And if you're a man, the same thing. We have already picked out at least one man and basically we're going to start and basically we'll follow these people's journey. All I ask from you is that once you embark on the journey, you come on the podcast once a month and we have an honest dialogue about what the journey's like. And all I would want you to do is be honest. Hey, I got my blood work done. This is what they suggested. And this is what I'm doing. And we basically follow you for a year so other people can make the decision themselves if they want to partake in it. Me personally, I'm scared shitless of that. I might get my testosterone check, find out that I'm really a woman.
And by the way, all the people that have sent in emails, we have gotten your emails. There's actually been like a massive flood of them. So we will be getting back to everybody in time as well too. So if you sent your email, we got it. Thank you. And we'll be sending you some stuff back soon.
Are you choosing the hottest person? No, I think almost even the opposite. Like if you look like you got run over by a semi, I think you have a better chance. We get the most improvement out of you. I don't know about U.S. residents only apply. That I don't know.
Interesting.
That I don't know. You're the second or third person who's asked this. I need to find out. You will hang yourself. Okay, so Clydesdale podcast, and then we'll come back to Craig's comment. Let me see when they interviewed James before I recommend it.
I don't know if this is it because it's only like 7 minutes. So this was like 2 months ago. I might have skipped the other one up here, but I didn't see anything before that.
Go back up to. Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's good that it's short. Do you remember when Hiller used to make 10-minute videos and made fun of me for making 2-hour videos? Now all his
no, here
videos
it
are
is.
20 minutes. Oh,
It's
oh
an
shit.
hour.
Okay.
I
Oh,
apologize.
click on it for a
I
second.
passed
Click on
it
it. I
by
want to see.
seeing it.
I want to click on it a second.
And an ad.
Can we get audio? Oh, yeah.
Stand by.
See if you can skip to like a. Okay, skip in a little bit.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
I want to start with kind of growing up, right? You grew up in Jersey.
Okay, keep going. Keep
Right.
going. We're looking for Mal's name.
And you were a really good football player. You started at the age of 4, I believe.
Souza?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good job, Souza.
So what is it like growing up where you did and being
38-19.
a football star, breaking records?
Their hip crease on the air squat within 5 minutes because of the time to care more than what they need. You know, I'm going above and beyond.
Okay, I'll come back and check it out. Good. Awesome.
They need strict
Clydesdale
supervision.
podcast, James. Is that Catherine? Is that Catherine right there? I didn't even recognize her.
You want to bring it back up?
Sup, boy Sevan, what did you think of my video I sent you on the hospital discontinuing our charity drive because of sanitation? Idiots. I don't know. I don't know if I saw it. My DMs are a little whack right now. I apologize. But I try to get back to everything. When is Colton Mertens coming on the show next? I don't know. That's a good question. The best question the show's had.
It's a great question.
Okay. Can you play Island Boys 113 and then we'll go back to Craig's comment. It's fascinating finding people like this though, Craig. Okay, let's see. Watch. Here we go. He's trying to show how tough he is.
I'm gonna show y'all industry niggas ain't on shit. Hold your hands up real quick. Get closer, like that. Go like this, go like this, go like this, go like this.
I love this guy.
Boom. Come on. Hold it like that. Come on, man.
I gotta get these guys. I'm just trying to know what makes them tick. Island Boys are lit. What's that mean? Lit. Like on drugs. Why do they always have their pants down so low? That does not look fun.
Fun.
Anyway, they can't say that word. They're white guys.
Do you think
Cancel them. Cancel them.
Do you think they do stuff like that just because they know, like, I think there was another video before that, and then like Sports Center or MMA or something like reposted it. Like, I just think they're under the attract as much attention as possible campaign. Like, it doesn't matter if it makes us look silly. It doesn't, like, just attack.
Here's the part that doesn't make sense. They show all of this money, but then they do Cameo. And Cameo is when you make recordings for people, right? Like you pay them and they make a record. Like I could pay them $300 and they would call you and be like, "Hey, what's up, Souza? We're the Island Boys." And but I just, if they were making tons of money, I just can't see them doing that.
Yeah, I mean, we should
get
get a cameo.
You think they're Hispanic?
We should get a cameo and see.
I thought they were Irish.
We had a very nice girlfriend reach out and email us about her boyfriend's birthday.
Oh,
but that passed. The birthday passed.
What was his name?
I think it was Joe Piero. His girlfriend Danielle wrote us in. We were gonna do it before one of the interviews, and then Anomaly came on, and then you guys got going, and then.
Why didn't you interrupt? Is that your fault?
It's definitely my fault because I could have interrupted, but that was a great podcast. And then people in the comments would be like, "Susan, why would you interrupt for that?"
Always interrupt.
I always try to come in and interrupt here and just get the Paper Street Coffee banner going when I can.
That's the only way you can get anything said on this show. Oh yeah, Paper Street Coffee. Oh, do you know I haven't had a Paper Street Coffee in a few days? I'm chugging one now. Oh, that's awesome. Hiller agreed. Okay, so tomorrow we'll have Hiller on. Will, you can throw Hiller in. I'm going to invite Snorri too. We're going to get to the bottom of some of this shit. I'm going to invite But for Snorri, it'll be like midnight where he's at. And I reached out to that guy, the fitness wizard. So basically what's happening is for tomorrow's show, there's a bunch of weird shit going on. Unfortunately, we saw Mr. Hippensteel's video, which is just nuts. There's not a single, it's just all screwed up, and he needs to be, I don't, the CrossFit Games needs to, you can't go to the CrossFit Games if your video looks that bad. Have you seen that video? It's so, it's so bad. And
It's right.
so that needs to be talked about tomorrow with Brian, but then we need to figure out what's going on. I guess there's 2 people in North America now that can't leave the country and then come back and compete or they can't come back, period.
Mm.
And it's like, why doesn't CrossFit make an exception for them? Who cares? Like, I don't see why anyone cares. This exception isn't like we're letting someone do steroids at the games. Just this once. I think it's like let's say 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's a good time for him.
Yeah, or I think it's scheduled at 6:30. So if you want to get him in first too, you do like 6:40 or something.
Can we play number? We're done with Disneyland. You know when I see those people at Disneyland, I think obviously there's so much going wrong with how much they're eating, right? There's so much going wrong in their life, and then they do all these weird things like with the piercings and the tattoos and just all the hair color, and then they just exacerbate it, and then they've kind of poured this weird like love into Disneyland, the regulars there. But I almost feel like it's like if I were to go and buy like a brand new like Honda Accord for like fully loaded for 60 grand, and then just take the thickest chain, like those chains that the Liver King carries around his neck, and tie it to the axle with like a 200-pound anchor on it. Like the day I get it. I mean, just destroy the car. You know what I mean? Let it bounce around, hit the bottom, slow the car down. It's nuts. The disrespect for the human body, the decrepitude that I witnessed. It's not a little bit, people. It was everyone. And my wife's like, do not speak in absolute. So you know what I did? I walked around and I was like, I'm going to count 5. I'm going to count people until I find someone who's not obese. And I got to 500 and I'm like, all right, that's everyone. I quit.
You didn't see anybody else? Like not even when you were walking?
Dude, at the end of the night, when I was in the tram, there was a guy with his baby. And he was wearing a tank top, and he had some nice arms. I still would have whooped his ass. Okay, can we play number 111? This one. It says sex offender LOL. That means.
Wait, hold on. Do we have multiple 111s here? Nope. Nope. I got it.
Craig White. I appreciate you guys got to walk my pit bull. I just have to grab my MAGA hat and a pack of bug out, 3 guns, 2 joints, bulletproof vest while carrying my wife in a bikini. Jeez Louise.
Way to paint a picture there, Craig.
Yeah. An American. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's check this out. What is this crazy nonsense?
This is what you wanted, right?
Yeah. What's going on? Okay, here we go. What's going on with Johnny Depp? Craig White, that sounds
tonight
like...
I'm going to take a bigger risk than anyone has ever taken on television before. In just a few moments, I'm going to be handcuffed to this solid steel frame, and I'll have exactly 90 seconds to free myself before the claw on this robotic arm undoes my pants, exposing me to an audience of children. If that happens, an LAPD officer is standing by to arrest me for indecent exposure. We've all seen escape artists risk death before, but tonight, I'm going to risk something even worse, becoming a registered sex offender for life. Why, you ask? Because tonight I'm going to...
Oh my gosh.
David Blaine ain't got shit on this guy. Oh my goodness. Remember when like Houdini would be like in a tank drowning and he had to get out to save his life. Now it's your pants are gonna fall down in front of little kids, and you're gonna win. You're gonna get a job at Disney. Aaron, hat note. Oh, look at Aaron's ears. He got the gauges.
Become a cast member.
Great job, fellas. I'm curious if having past games retirees like Alex Anderson, Kristen Clever, etc., maybe to come on and comment on the semis and games. Oh, that's not a bad idea. I wouldn't mind talking to Kristen Clever. I haven't talked to him forever.
It's not a bad idea.
I mean, that didn't even say that right. Not that I wouldn't mind. I'd like to. I did a video with Kristen Clever one time, and I hung out with her all day. And it was a little awkward. She was pretty quiet. It was early on in her career. I hung out with her all day, and I went back to my and Miranda Alcaraz was there with me. She was hanging out. She was good friends with Kristen Clever, is good friends, and they were hanging out. Miranda was like trying to massage it, and Becca Voigt was there. Maybe even Lindsay Valenzuela was there for part of it, like
Valley Girls.
But then eventually I went to Kristen Clever's house, and we hung out there, and so like we had to talk. And then I was like, wow. And Kristen ended up killing it. And I thought I did the most amazing job ever. And then I got back to my hotel room that night. It was like 10 o'clock, and I had a few hours with her shoot the next morning. And I'm eating a hamburger, and I'm starting to load the cards into my computer. And I realized I had no sound on any of the footage. I know it doesn't sound like a big deal to you guys, but I couldn't even eat my hamburger. I wanted to throw up. I don't think I've ever shared that story with anyone. I called my wife crying. I don't even think she's my wife at the time. It was Haley. She didn't know she wasn't. We didn't have kids. And Haley was so sweet to me. Crazy.
Do you remember what she said?
Don't worry, when you get home, I'll fuck the shit out of you. You'll forget all this stuff.
My God.
No, I don't know what she said. That's all I ever hear her say.
I thought we were gonna get some good.
She can be like, "Can you walk the dog?" And at the end, I always just hear like, "I'll fuck you when you get back," even if she doesn't say it. That's just what I hear. I fuck the big Jesus out of you when you get back. Oh yeah, no problem. Okay, we did the sex offender magician. What can we do? 110. The
I think we did that one last time.
We did it already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we talked about me flying home too.
Can you see the video? Or you just remember? You remember? Are you certain? Put a lot of work in these. I don't want you to erase one that we haven't done.
Okay, we'll throw it up there. Let's do it.
Put a lot of work into this.
Well, now you're making me second guess it, so now I don't want to say no. I'm too freaked out if I'm wrong.
Put a lot of work into these, Mr. Sue. Oh, this looks familiar. Oh yeah, we did this one. Jesus. All right, you're right. Point Sousa. Okay. How about this? India CrossFit. Oh yeah, this is interesting. I've already said too much nice stuff about CrossFit. Let's bash them a little bit today. India CrossFit. Hey, if Greg were around and Hiller was doing this, Greg would be so stoked. By the way, what Hiller is doing is what Greg wanted to be done. The community to police itself. Okay, so this place is in India, and it says from being the only CrossFit in Punjab. I've been to Punjab before, by the way. From being the only CrossFit in Punjab, to single-handedly spreading CrossFit in North India, we have come a long way as a community. From paying $3,000 a month for consecutive years and paying thousands of dollars to get ourselves certified, today CrossFit finally gave us what it thinks we deserve: a legal notice. And they get in trouble. What do they get the legal notice for? Keep going. From being hit hard by the pandemic and still pulling through with our head held high, guess what CrossFit gave us for support? Nothing. There are more than 20 gyms around us and more than hundreds in India that advertise being CrossFit gyms, and it is hard for CrossFit to have a legal team and make sure that the interests of their affiliates is protected. The answer is no, they don't give a shit. Basically, this gym is saying is they're a legit CrossFit gym that pays money for the name, and that there's dozens of gyms around them that don't. And what started as a worldwide community to get people together and get fit has become a business intended towards only one goal: make more money. That's a little harsh. Well, okay, maybe it's not. We feel sad and enraged, but this is not the farewell that we would have wanted. At the same time, this makes us stronger in our vision to make people around us fitter, both mentally and physically. Maybe they need a CrossFit gym at Disneyland. Hey, I didn't see one playground there for kids to play on. God, my kids would walk by other kids and I would think, how are these other kids going to compete with my kids in life? Other kids were just like broken. Makes us realize that it's not the same or the CrossFit brand that gets us going. Rather, it is our hard work and determination. So fuck you, CrossFit. We shall continue on our endeavor to make people the best versions of. What did they get in trouble for? Proudly unaffiliated. What did they get in trouble for? They got a cease and desist for what? A legal notice. Oh, infringement of trademark.
Interesting.
Yeah. It breaks all my stereotypes of Indian people. I thought they'd be like, hello, my friend. I think we have got this letter inappropriately. Can you please be nice to us and stop the legal notices? Thank you. Have a nice day.
Maybe they tried the nice route the first time.
Do you remember when people were getting canceled and the guy who did the voice, Hank Azarian or Aziz for Simpsons got in trouble for doing the Indian voice? Do not make fun of my 8-armed elephant. Have a nice day. Like that was racist. Come on, dude. Wad Zombie, $5 super sticker. Doing accents is racist.
Would it be the same if you tried an Australian one or a English accent?
If I could do an Australian, you're right. Good point.
I don't know.
Like, I wish I could do Australia. I wish I could do it. If I could do a German Hitler accent, I would be doing it all the time. I should practice on that shit.
Yeah, that would be great for the show.
What would TDC say about Hitler if he was still around? Mr. Butter. Hey, isn't that funny? Dick Butter. I never realized it has the word butt in it too. Butter. It's a lot. It's a lot to unpack. Butter Dick. Mr. Butter, I'm sure he's having a blast. I mean, what a complete and utter shit show it is over there. Well, I can't wait to talk about it tomorrow. I feel bad because I have so many friends over there, but it is fun. But we already know exactly what's happening. There's just no one in charge.
Yeah, that's true.
By the way, they did a live stream on their Instagram, but I was at Disneyland. But I so wanted to capture that live stream and play it on our YouTube, and talk about what they were showing. It would have been so fun.
Well, you're in luck.
They have it.
I might have.
I think TDC is probably really happy. I mean, wouldn't you be completely happy if your wife dumps you and 2 weeks later her boyfriend gives her herpes? You're like, oops.
I might have sources all over the interwebs that just send video feed.
I took the trash out. My wife just said, don't forget to take trash out. I did that. I did that already.
I like Dick Butter's icon. I wonder if he made that graphic or just found it.
Have you signed up for the newsletter? Please go to the SevanPodcast.com. SevanPodcast.com and sign up for the newsletter. It's growing very fast. Thank you. I was looking at our open rates. Wow, we're killing it. Okay, so we did India. How about this? Look at number 8, 108. Save this one. This one's kind of fun. IG Dick Cheese picture. I'm going camping.
108.
Wait.
It's an article.
There was another one I wanted to show. Super woke. Laugh out loud. The Mac. Oh, I want to talk about. Wait, can we do number 95 first? Sorry, can we do number 595?
Mm-hmm.
Many people say stuff in the comments, and first of all, if you write in the comments on YouTube or anywhere and you don't make sense, you're not logical, there becomes a point where it's not even worth dealing with you. Or if you just say like stupid shit.
95 is not a link.
I know, but you could probably go to the YouTube comments and find it. I just don't know exactly where it is. But it was in one of the posts. You have to understand this, and I say this with all humility and love. I would be hard pressed to believe that there's anyone who knows more about CrossFit than me. Okay, one person. Okay, 3 people. That's it. No more. But I also would be surprised. I still would be surprised if there's anyone who knows more than me. And what do I mean more than me? I mean just about the whole thing: how much money it makes, affiliate history, who fucked who, history of the games, history of the training department, history of media. Like all in all, I mean, there's people who definitely know the methodology better than me. There's people who definitely, I mean, it's Greg's fucking company. The audacity. Okay, fine. I'm not going to argue that Greg knows more than me. But I definitely know more about who fucked who at HQ. I just think that I know more than anyone. I know about the accounting department. I know who did what. I know. I
found the Forbes article.
And so for you to say, so I was saying about how CrossFit does not have a lot of money, and someone's like trying to say, no, I saw in Forbes reported that CrossFit's worth $4 billion. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to tell you how that story started. First of all, CrossFit is not worth $4 billion. CrossFit probably is worth less than most of the boats that I saw this weekend in Newport.
Say 200 million.
I don't think CrossFit's worth 200 million. I think CrossFit's probably worth like 25 million, to be honest. I think it is but tomorrow it could be worth 200 million again, or 500 million. I mean, who knows? Bring Dave back, do something crazy, try to bring Dave back and then sell it right after the games. But I think it can't be good. So when someone says, oh, but Forbes said it's worth $4 billion, let me tell you how that happened. So Greg was doing an interview with Forbes. It was an Armenian guy, and they filmed the interview. It was a video. And it was at a CrossFit gym in New York. I think it's one of those douchebag gyms that requires people to take drugs in order to work out there now, which is, I don't know how any CrossFit gym does that and thinks that they understand Greg's methodology. But it's one of those gyms. Maybe it was at Hell's Kitchen. I don't know. I shouldn't say. And they're doing the, it's in Manhattan. I'm sure the place is like $100,000 a month rent. No shit. And Greg's in there and he's being interviewed. And the guy says something to him like, hey, Greg, what do you think the value is of CrossFit? And he says the ecosystem probably has a value of $4 billion or something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
And the guy didn't hear or didn't understand Greg's
what he was talking
language
about,
and thought that he was saying the company was worth $4 billion. And he wasn't talking about that. When you say the CrossFit ecosystem, you're talking about the $1 billion that Rogue is worth. That's Bill and Katie's little fucking business. That's the billions that fucking whatever, or hundreds of millions that the 50 million that people think Whoop is worth,
right?
Or whatever Whoop is worth.
RX Bar.
That's RX Bar. Yeah, he talked about the ecosystem, how much the trainers are making, the people selling shoes, all of that, and he said the ecosystem was worth $4 billion. I don't know how much the parking meter, how much money people who make parking meters make off of cities. But let's say they make $100 million a year. But the ecosystem for parking is fucking billions. Parking tickets, new meters, all the people who work to check the parking meters. It's a big difference. You can't say a parking meter company makes all the money that the ecosystem makes. It's a drop in the bucket. The PGA doesn't make shit compared to the fucking golf ecosystem.
Right.
Nothing. And so when you write that stuff on YouTube and you act like you're saying, like you're telling me something, like you're better off asking a question. Like 99%, I think I've like one person I've ever read a comment and been like, oh, actually they're right. I fucked that up. I like Jonathan Ortega's avatar picture. Hi Nick, I got your yeah, that's a cool picture. That's what I picture speaking of races, that's what I picture Hector to look like. Hector Trinta. I got your email. It was like a paragraph and there were like 4 questions in there. So I just went up to marked unread.
Yeah, that's really the trick, guys. If you want to get something, make it a nice one-liner.
Oh, Nick, you're a good dude.
Make it a nice one-liner.
I do, Jeff. That's not a nice comment. You're not a nice dude. I do not understand their court. That's the one thing I don't know. Aaron, I am intrigued by your diet, Sevan. Would you ever go a little more in depth sometime about what you take, supplements, and eat generally? Yeah. I'll tell you just in a nutshell what I do. In a nutshell, I wake up in the morning and I have a cup of coffee. And then when I'm done with the podcast, I go outside, I go back into the main part of the house, and there's usually some leftover eggs, and I eat the leftover eggs. It's probably like 1 or 2 eggs. And then there might be a piece of bacon or some oatmeal or something. It's just shit laid out, right? And the kids are like off doing their Kumon or doing whatever they're doing. And I'll usually just like run through there and eat that stuff. Then I'll go out with them and we'll go to, let's say, the skate park, and there's a Pete's Coffee there, and I'll run in and I'll get 2 hard-boiled eggs. Well, I'll get 6, but my kids will eat 4, and I'll eat whatever's left over. Sometimes I get lucky and I get all 6, but rarely. Sometimes I get 1, but I'd say normally 2. Then I come home and I'll be hungry. Now it's like 1 or 2 o'clock, and I'll start like, oh, I need to eat something. And I'll usually have like a pound of hamburger meat and like a clamshell of greens. Then I'll probably work out, do some more stuff with the kids. And then at night I'll do something stupid. I'll have like another half pound of hamburger meat, a giant cup of raw milk, and 6 pounds of cashews. Okay. Something stupid always happens at night. Not like stupid like the people. Yeah, not like something stupid like the stuff that people do at Disneyland. I drink the Paper Street coffee. So what I do is I wake up in the morning, I have 1 cup of Paper Street coffee right when I wake up. And then as I'm getting ready for the show, and then I have another cup, but I dilute it with like 80% water for the show. I don't know if I'm just too busy. I'm not too busy. I start not knowing how to answer the questions.
Start overthinking it.
Someone has invited me to Los Angeles to do a business deal, and I don't want to. I can't. Or not Los Angeles, Las Vegas. And I called Matt, and I'm in a panic. And he goes, why? I'm like, because I know the answer shouldn't be fuck off. No, it should be like, oh, thank you for the offer. We'd love to hear you out. But everything that anyone ever offers me, I just panic. And so I can't. So many people do nice things, but I just panic. I can't believe I went to Newport and hung out with these people and had a good time. I was ready to never come home. That's how I'm like such a creature of habit. I was already just like in the groove.
You're in your routine.
Yeah.
You had the groove.
Yeah. I was already
I was falling into it too. I was enjoying
it. Dude, I hung out with Anomaly.
It's a good life. I know. I was jealous.
Oh, he's so I like him on Instagram. He's 1,000 times cooler in person. He's really tall and really attractive. Like really, really attractive. He's like an angel. It was cool. Oh, could we play number 99? I have to pee.
99.
Maybe I should, when you play this, I should pee. No, I won't do that to you.
Oh, yeah, this is good.
Caleb made this, right?
Yep.
Oh, Katie's hurting me. Katie caught it. Oh, Nelly.
With this guy, you know.
If Howard Stern and Joe Rogan had a baby, you'd be looking at him. Remember, the people were live, so don't like start picking your nose or pull your dick out or anything crazy like that. And this is why this is the greatest show on the internet, because there's a comment here that says a lot of pre-cum, and then right after there's a comment that says it's so sad. Let's go back.
Look up their names and they
No one clip that and play that on the internet.
A thumb with a mustache. Yes. Listen, a guy named Johan Lopez called you a thumb with a mustache. Wow.
I'm gonna shit myself.
Man, that Sevan podcast is dull as shit.
Okay, you guys have a great day.
Okay.
You too. Thanks for calling.
Mwah.
No.
I was feeling like it was my mom I was talking to.
Dude, I forgot to plug the fucking phone in. I didn't plug in the live call in. I wonder if anyone called in today. We didn't put, well, good thing we didn't put the number up. I don't have the, I'm looking right here and the phone's not here. Like right here, it usually sits right there. It's gone. I took it with me to Newport and I didn't put it back. The live call in phone. Katie. Not cool, Katie. Not cool. Pool. Fool. You're a fool. You're a fool. I'm fool. I just use fool. Just one word to me. I just do fool. My wife's going to love that. I always make fun of the way she says shit. Cupboard. Yeah, I don't touch any of that shit. I do not eat shit like that. I do not. I'm too old. I'm 50. Oh, something's wrong with your mic, Susan. You got muted or something.
Oh yeah, I was in the mute from when we played YouTube.
We're at 90 minutes. ID dick cheese. Oh, so I want to say something about. Should I talk about Instagram dick cheese post? There's this thing that people do on their posts that I think is so fucking cheesy and so fucking insincere. Another thing, you know what I've been trying to do, Aaron? I've been trying to eat like some raw eggs, and then it really bummed me out because I saw Carnivore MD said you're not supposed to eat the whites of the eggs. So I'm like, oh, what a pain in the ass, because I wanted to eat raw eggs because I just wanted to crack one, put it in a little shot glass, and throw it down. Now I have to do that and get a spoon and just get out the. Did you know that you're not supposed to eat the white? No. And I looked it up and I forget the reason why, but it's pretty serious. It's like, oh yeah, you shouldn't eat the whites raw. If it's true,
creates a lot more work.
Say that again.
So that creates a lot more work.
Yeah, I guess still less than cooking. There's this thing that people do on their Instagram posts where they say stuff like, they make the post and then they say today I'm going for a hike with me. Today me and Susan are going for a hike. What do you guys like to do when you're with your bestie? that and just so you know, what's his name does not do this. Rob Orlando does not do this. But this is if we were to do it for the barbell brush, we do it like this. My favorite barbell brush is the black one with the steel bristles. Which is your favorite barbell brush? Yes. Comment below your favorite hiking trail. Yeah. It's like my favorite flavor of Podium is the chocolate mint. What's your favorite? Dude. It's such insincere shit. It's like one of the favorite things that the but it works. But it works.
Back.
Yeah. I like to wear blue booty shorts. Which ones would you like to see me in next week? The beacon of morals of the beacon. What did I call her? The beacon of
high morals.
Yeah, the beacon of high morals. Love the beacon of high morals. So silly. Sure. Tag your buddy who likes goofing around in the gym. Whoopee. And it's like, what's your favorite dance move in the gym? Oh my goodness.
There's some good captions you guys will see on our Instagram soon.
Yeah. Every time I see that, it's just such insincere. What made me think about that, how I got spun up on that, is I started like getting really up on my high horse. Like basically, if you're not shadow banned, you're either a coward or you're an idiot.
I'm not shadow banned.
I know. That's why I didn't want to say that, but
which category do I fall under?
Hey, I'm from Berkeley. Anytime I throw some shit and it lands on you, just remember I'm from Berkeley.
I am deeply offended.
I want to say something to all the fathers out there who have daughters. All the fathers out there that have daughters. My boys are going to be with your girls. They're going to shower with them. They're going to skinny dip with them. They're going to get drunk with them. They're going to drive across the country with them. My boys are going to have sex with your girls. They're going to kiss your girls. They're going to take your girls out on dates. They're going to experiment with your girls. Number 104, please. They're going to get your girls pregnant. They're going to make your girls cry. Your girls are going to make my boys cry. It's going to happen. All of you men out there with daughters, it's going to happen. The only thing that you can participate in is to figure out what kind of boy do you want my boys to be. Do you want my boys to be built for battle when they're with your girls? Or do you want my boys to be the boys that I saw at Disneyland, who at 8 years old, their parents are pushing them around in a cart. They have half their hair dyed green. They're holding a bubble stick and a pack of fucking M&Ms. We're not going to have a choice. Hey, hopefully my girls marry someone taller. I know, I hear you. Me too. I hope they do too. But it's not gonna. You're not gonna have a choice but for size. In another 3 years, my son's gonna be able to. At 10 years old, my son's gonna be able to beat up most grown men at the rate grown men are waning in their capacity, and my boys are waxing in it. Your daughters are gonna be stuck with fucking Armenian midgets, Jew midgets. I'm telling you, it's happening. I'm building my boys to be capable, to be amazing partners with your daughters. No one's going to take their lunch money. That's what I think of. That's what I think of. I'm building my boys, and I think of your daughters. What would you want for your daughters? All right, 104, did it. Good. Feel good about that one.
That was good.
Thank you.
That was good.
Mom, if you're watching the show tonight, which hopefully you are, I wanted to ask you, can you do this? Number 103. Mom, can you do this? Dylan Vowell fights on May 6th. We got to talk about that right after this. Mom, can you do this? 103. Let's see if my mom's watching. This is nuts, dude. This is a 90-year-old woman. Dude, no one at Disneyland can do this.
A 90-year-old mom can still do this. There is nothing more important to her than her mobility and her freedom of movement. My 90-year-old mom.
That's bad to the bone. She was doing it for anyone who couldn't see it. You're just listening. That was a 90-year-old woman doing a candlestick with both legs. She started on her back, she rolled back, she swung forward, and she stood up. Yeah, that is dope. That's a great. And how about that daughter who's so proud of her mom? I wonder if my mom can do that. I'm gonna ask her tomorrow. I don't want to forget that. On May 6th, one of our most loyal and favorite listeners, Dylan Vowell, is fighting. When can we schedule Dylan? That's coming up. Oh, Dylan, we'll text you tonight. We're going to text you tonight. So I was invited to go to Vegas to meet with this guy. He's a big shot, and he wants to be a part of the podcast, and he's in Vegas. And I don't know how to ask, like, can I bring my boyfriend, Souza? Like, oh, you got muted again.
I keep forgetting to click it off as I was trying to find Dylan Vowell's Instagram, but I didn't have it up here. And I
just want to talk to. I don't want to talk to anyone about business. I like maybe later. I'm just afraid I'm going to screw it up. No, go away. It's mine. My podcast. I'm keeping my 1,000 listeners. Don't try to help me. Mine. It's all mine. I'm an island boy. I
think you just need a face tat.
We did hey, we had some of our biggest shows in Newport.
Yeah. It was the lighting.
Oh. We did abortion law in California. Let's look at number 102. This was supposed to be part of the game, Republican or Democrat, which I just haven't had the balls to get off the ground yet. 102. Oh, can we remember soon as we get off to text Dylan Vowell and schedule him?
Yes.
Oh, look, he put his. No, I have your phone number. I have your phone number, dude. I text your fucking phone. You can't do nothing about it.
That was for me. So searching for his Instagram.
Okay, Republican or Democrat? You tell me. Did we already look at this one? We did.
Hours before I drove 8 hours to get here, so I'm actually starting to feel 100% again. My name is Denham Cox.
You fell right in front of me, and I was the guy who I picked you up.
Did I fall over your bike? Are you the
No.
motherfucker that parked your bike in my shin zone?
I don't.
What happened?
What's your stance on elbow pads and knee pads?
If you're from San Francisco, I guess.
What does that mean for Nancy Pelosi?
I don't even know her, but fuck. I puked 10 hours before I drove.
Hey.
8 hours.
I would love Republicans more if they wore helmets. Why can't you guys wear helmets? Why can't you guys wear helmets? I just would. The liberal in me I need a bike helmet. I need pesto and a bike helmet. All right, guys. Tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Thank you. It sounds like we're going to have Andrew Hiller on. I'm going to email a couple other people tonight. DM them and try to get a couple other people on who are involved in this semi-final fucking train wreck.
Yes, you hear that, Hannah Anderson?
Why? What did she say?
She bombed 3 of our videos in a row that just said, "Get Hiller on here, stat, all caps. Don't be afraid."
You guys aren't gonna like it. We're not gonna like. We're not. You guys aren't gonna like it.
What is this Don't be afraid. What?
I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm not letting him say much. I'm gonna come on. I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna have the 3 questions already out, but I'm not gonna ask him I'm not gonna do anything to promote him and ask him hey, how big is your penis? No. What's your favorite bat? No. I'm gonna ask Hiller hey, what's going on with this video of David Hippensteel or something like that, or what do you think the solution? Something to add value to the subject at hand.
Well,
I probably won't even talk to him directly. When I have questions to ask him, I'll probably ask Brian to ask him or Matt Souza to ask him because I'm too scared. I'm an island boy. Okay, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. There's a chance that we might even do a podcast in the morning. Depends on if we don't, it's Suze's fault. Just so